This time on Road and Race, I drill out my brake caliper to fix a bad thread, do a spot of rust prevention, and then attempt to fix the Boxster's roof with a bit of sewing. In this series on fixing up my cheap 987 Boxster, I've tackled a number of issues, including replacing rusty brake lines, battling with extremely rusty exhaust bolts, and swapping out the infamous IMS bearing.
As you may know, I bought this car and immediately set about tackling some of the issues on it, so I've not actually driven it that much. There's a few little things I just want to finish off, and then I can use it day to day.
As you may have seen, I spent a long time replacing lots of rusty brake lines. Well, it appears when trying to remove this stubborn hard line, the thread was damaged, as no matter how hard I tightened it, the line would always leak. So I need to repair the threads.
I've gone away and I've ordered a kit from Amazon. It wasn't expensive, about £12, and it includes, hopefully, everything I need to make this thread repaired. That's not a very good sentence, is it? To repair the thread. There we go. So we have, first of all, a drill bit to drill out the hole larger, and then this is a tapping die. So we'll screw that in and remake the threads. This helps insert the helicoil, which then reduces the hole back down to the size we need for the bolt. And then this little doodad here just removes the little tang there at the bottom so that there's nothing blocking the way. How do I know what bolt to get? Well, this is an M10x1 kit, and that's because the nuts that I'm using in the caliper are shown here. M10x1, doesn't focus, M10x1. So that's quite easy. If you don't know what nut you have, you can get a little teethy tool which you can put next to it and it will tell you. But I only need to order one of those. Also got some cutting oil for when I do the tapping to keep things nice and lubricated. So let's get on. I've not done this before, so yeah, see how it goes. First up, I'm just going to mark out the depth of the hole I need to drill. It's not far, so about there. I'll transfer that onto my drill bit. And I'm just going to set my drill to the slower settings. That's fast, that's slow. Obviously don't have it on hammer action or anything like that, just normal drilling setting. Right, moment of truth, here we go. Try and do this as straight as I can. Pillar drill will be nice, but don't have one of those, so here we go. Just nice and gently. Aluminium, this caliper, so it doesn't take much really to go through it. That was very easy to drill. It's so soft. I'm just going to pick out all the swarf, maybe get some air in there or something, just get rid of it all. So there you can see how far I've drilled down. I've drilled down just as far as it starts to taper in at the bottom. I've taken a few goes at it, taken my time, got a little bit deeper, cleaned it out, checked. So it's probably 4 or 5 attempts to get that deep. I don't want to go any deeper, I feel that's pretty deep enough, so let's try tapping. Just give it a quick hoover there, get all the swarf out. Cutting oil. Time for cutting. Then go full turn and then a quarter turn back just to clear up all the swarf and debris. There are new threads. That's looking pretty good, I think. Time to put the helicoil in. Helicoil goes in a little gap like that, and you've got a little adjuster here so you can adjust it to the correct depth, tighten it up, and screw it in. Takes a while to bite, but once you feel it go, it goes in quite easy. Very squeaky noise. Look at that! Hey! My first helicoil. Just got to get the special tool now and snap off that little tang at the bottom and vacuum it out. They say special tool, it's just basically a flat piece of metal. Anyway, let's push it in and see if I can break that off. That doesn't work very well. I'm going to get something thin to break it off. I found a punch tool. Let's see if that will do the job. There you go, it's snapped off. I will now vacuum that out. The moment of truth. Does the nut fit in the hole? Yes! Aha! So there we go, helicoiling. Not as difficult as I thought, really. I was a bit scared to do it at first because it's, drilling into, a piece of equipment and then trying to fix it afterwards. But it's actually gone quite smoothly, and yeah, I'd say anyone could give this a go, really. It's not as difficult as it looks. I've made up a new brake hard line for the caliper using my kit from Sealy. My previous video, a couple back, shows you how to do this. I'll do a little link in the description box or up here if you want to know how to do it. So now I've got to put this back on the caliper and then the caliper back on the car and bleed the system again.
Moving on to some rust prevention. I spent a long time cutting out all the rusty lines on this car and replacing them with copper nickel lines. Now these won't rust, which is good, but what I want to do is protect the original lines that are still fine from getting bad and rusty. To do this, I'm using Lanoguard. It's super simple, just spray it on or brush it on and it forms a watertight seal. I'm just going to rust protect the brake lines for now, but I think before winter I'll get the car up in the air and do the whole underside like I did with my wife's MG, just to, the rust, there isn't very much rust on this car, but I think a nice bit of preventative maintenance never goes amiss, does it?
Whilst I was under the car, I thought I'd check out the oil leak. If you remember back to previous videos, I'll put a little insert now. You can remember how wet and oily all this area around here was. But as you know, we took the gearbox off and checked out the rear main seal, which usually leaks, and we thought that had been changed recently. And obviously we swapped out the IMS bearing. So looks like all that oil was just from a previous time, probably before they changed the IMS. So there we go. Anyway, it's good news. It's dry. Everything's nice.
Now, a super common problem that affects the 987 and 986 is that when you close the roof, it doesn't close properly. The kind of little edge of the roof doesn't sit in the track properly and can cause it to get damaged. Might even let water in. Don't know. Anyway, there's a super easy fix. You just have to kind of replace the elastic inside the roof. Anyway, let's get on to it. Here's what I'm talking about. You see it sits all nicely inside the track here, but then starts to come out and then it kind of overlaps here. It doesn't sit, it should sit nice and flush inside here. So let's take the roof up, and there should be a bit of elastic in here we can repair. This is what I'm talking about. This should have a bit of resistance on it, but as you can see, it's just lost all its elasticity and it's flopping about. So what we have to do is unscrew one end from here. Do you see that? Unscrew it there, and then we can repair it. So here we are. This is supposed to be elastic, but it's just lost all its stretch. So the plan is cut it out and just put some new in, sew some new on there. I've bought some normal fabric elastic. This is 1 inch in width. Ooh, nice and stretchy. And just a needle and thread. I'm going to cut a strip of this off and so remove the other piece and sew this in. There we are. Boing. I'm certainly not going to win any embroidery competitions, but for the purposes of this fix, that'll do nicely. So I'm just going to run it back through here until I can feel the screw hole and get this about medium tight. It's ready to go now. I'll just screw that in and test how well the roof closes. All screwed in. So, I mean, it's not super tight, but it does pull it in. So I think that's what we're looking for. Right, let's close the roof.
Well, there you go. That's all right, isn't it? I mean, it's still a bit of a gap there, but I don't know if that'll ever be closed up. As long as it's not crunching up here and like that, I'm happy. I mean, the roof could probably do with tightening all over the place. But anyway, for now, that's fine. Oh. Looks like somebody's already attempted this fix on this side. New piece of elastic. Not very well though, but I guess it's going to save me a bit of time. I'm just going to put a hole here and screw it back in. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. There we go, a bit shorter. Let's screw this one in and see if it works. Ah, much better. Lovely.
So that's it for now. I've still got loads of jobs to do on the old Boxster, but nothing super urgent, and I just want to enjoy it during the summer, so I'll probably come back to it a little bit later on. I mean, the coil packs need changing, spark plugs need changing, coolant pipes need changing, coolant needs changing, and I need a new head unit and new speakers, which I'll probably try and do sooner rather than later because it's quite annoying driving the car at the moment, it's kind of buzzing away at you. Anyway, I've got the S2000 now, I need to start work on that, so we'll be doing that for a while and coming back to the Boxster as and when. Just a quick word about channel memberships. If you would like to become a member, you get loads of extra bits, you get badges, you get priority reply on comments from me, you get shout out and videos if you want. Also, I post 2 to 3 fun little videos each week for memberships, you know, behind the scenes and unboxings and when I go to events and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. So I'm a full-time YouTuber now, so if you want to help support the channel, become a member. Thank you. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm doing about 2 videos a week now, so I should see you in about 3 days' time. Thanks for watching.